joining us today.
Okay, you're live.
Good evening and welcome to the Senior Liaison meeting for Monday, September 27th. We do have a section of the meeting set aside for public comments, and we just checked and nobody's in the queue. So we'll move forward to approval of the August meeting minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the August minutes.
A second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Town manager's report on the community senior center project.
Yes, thank you, Alan. The contractors should be finishing up their punch list this week, and but the town still has the issue with the two former bathrooms by the ramp area that have a crushed sanitary pipe. Therefore, the bathrooms are closed to the public, and it affects our ratio for the number of people in the building to the number of toilets available and so on. So with that, until those toilets are fixed, when the senior center gets up and running, the game room and the thrift shop will be closed for use in order to bring down that ratio so that it meets that we have enough toilets for the number of people in there. We still have everything in place, hopefully, for a open house on October 2nd at the Community Senior Center from 10 to 12. Looking at the extended forecast, looks like it's going to be a sunny day. A lot depends on the turnout, on how we control the flow of people going through, because mostly it's going to be a like self-guided tour of the facilities. And the intention is to have a brief opening ceremony and then allow the people to come in and view the center. After October 2nd, the use of the building is sort of up in the air at the moment, depending on the various building departments and fire marshal and planning and zoning, getting all the plans for the building from the general contractor. More they use more of the as-built that is needed for the town files. So depending on the availability of those as-built and getting them to the town could delay opening the center up for public use. There is a building committee meeting tomorrow at 9, and hopefully we'll get some updated information how all those stand. But going forward, we're still planning on the October 2nd open house.
Questions for John?
Yes, I just have a question. I know, at the beam ceremony, the packet design committees were told that they would be able to participate in the opening. I get that we want to have short bunch of speeches and stuff, but have the design and PAC members been specifically invited to, quote, be on the podium to at least be recognized or, be able to be there? Because certainly without the PAC, we wouldn't have even had the center approval and the design, just to have them be recognized.
Okay, we can do that, but the program will recognize all the committees similar to the committees that are recognized at the beam ceremony as well. So the design committee will be recognized there. as well.
Okay, because I mean, the precedent was set at the Mosher School to have the head of the pack speak. I get again that we want to have this a short ceremony, but they should be at least there to be able to, wave and say, hey, I was on those committees. That's all
So Mimi, when you say pack, is that just recognizing a group, or are you talking about individuals?
Well, I mean, their names could be quickly read. You can check with Krista. I don't know how many are on there. I mean, we had 8 people on the design committee, or at least have their name in the program, or just something, because without their input, we wouldn't have the center. Just putting it out
well,
there.
if you can help me get those names, I appreciate it. I'll try finding her email and asking her about
Okay,
that.
I can be in touch with Krista. You should have the design, but if not, Jeff and I both
I have the
so
design committee all set, but the pack.
I will get you the list.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
I have no questions myself. I mean, it sounds like October 2nd, we'll come in for 10, and the ceremony will go as long as it goes, and then tour the building.
Correct.
Okay. You good, Ed?
I'm good.
All right,
Good.
then we'll move
Sounds good.
forward.
Sounds good.
Look mighty
Update.
cool, Ed.
Gina, your update on senior services?
Okay, we are getting ready for Saturday. We have a nice little breakfast we'll be providing. Everything is going to be put together beforehand so people don't have to touch things, so that we can try to be as COVID aware as possible. A separate coffee station that will have a volunteer pouring, so that, again, we're going to try to keep people away from things so that it's nice and clean. We will have some demonstrations going on that day. I'm hoping to have a pickleball demonstration in the gym, as well as table tennis. We're looking to bring in a table tennis program, and I'm supposed to be getting some donated tables on Wednesday. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and we can start that program in the gym once we're open and the weather gets a little cooler. We also have one of our art instructors will be in the art studio. We have some fitness people that will be in the gym. Mimi's going to be in one of the classrooms talking about her program that's coming, great discussions. So we're giving a little tease of what's coming up in the future to everybody. Our newsletters just came back from the printer today, hot off the press. And I'll let you in on a secret. The new name to the newsletter is called The Compass, which will fit in our nautical theme. So I'm very excited that that's the one that was picked by the majority of people. We had 80 residents submit their vote on what they wanted for it. So that was very exciting. We're happy about that. We've been doing some outdoor programming, thank God, since we're not allowed in the building. So our outdoor Zumba's going very well. It's already been a few weeks. We had cardio tennis on Saturday and the weather held up. Wednesday, we have a program on bicycling that we have no one registered. So I guess I missed the boat on that. So that'll be canceled. And pickleball for the 4th time, we're scheduled for Thursday. It rained the 3 weeks prior. Thursdays have not been good. So hopefully pickleball. And we do have some openings in the 7 p.m. slot if any of you are interested. I signed up for it, so I'm going to learn a little bit about pickleball. Should be fun. Many of our classes had to be postponed that were supposed to start in September. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. Most things are starting after Columbus Day, and I'm hoping people will be back in the swing of things by then. We've been doing some virtual shares with different towns that have been successful. Today was House of Seven Gables, and we had several people that called about that. And we do a Silver Sneakers program that we share with another town. And the way this works is we share the costs so that our members can take advantage of these programs. Some are free and some there are fees for. We are pushing our membership, which is good. We have a stack full. Rita has been putting them into the computer for us. And we've also revised the membership. It is still free for residents, but non-residents pay $20. We already have about 10 non-residents who have signed up. So that looks good. That's very good for us. And one of the reasons why we want people to become members, it's good for us to know who's supporting the senior center. It's good for contacting people, and we will also give them a discount when they sign up for something. So they feel there's some value into being a member besides just supporting the senior center. Tomorrow we have a paint party. It is a grab and go, and it's virtual. So the seniors will come up, they'll get their bag that will include all their products to do the paint party, as well as a pumpkin muffin and apple juice. And they'll drive in and they'll drive out. We have 45 people registered for this. So I'm very happy with that success for that one. And then on Friday, we have something called Party in the Park. It's with the Elderly Brothers, Brian Gilly and Tom Stankus, and it's an outdoor concert. And the weather looks good, so knock on wood, we've lucked out for this week. And then the open house is Saturday. And then the following Friday, we're doing a virtual jukebox bingo. And I'm not sure the numbers of that yet, but I think that's going well. We are geared to start our lunch program on the 4th if we get the okay for the building. If not, we will postpone it a week and then start after Columbus Day. We're still working on our fitness center. I've got to put together a membership application, a medical form. I do have a professional who will be working a few hours a week. We then need to train volunteers. So it's a pretty big process. We will have a person here on Saturday in the fitness room to talk to any senior who's interested in joining. We'll take a list if our membership application isn't ready yet. I don't want to rush it. I want to make sure we cross our T's and dot our I's on that, because that's important. I have a stack of volunteer applications. So my goal this week and next week is to go through them. A lot of different people. Some of the people have never taken part in the senior center in the past, which is very exciting. So what I like to do is interview them and find what's the best way to use their talents that can also help us. I'm always interested in new teachers because that's something that is good for everyone. In transportation, we did our first Adventures in Dining. It was formerly called Get Out of the Kitchen. And we went to Lenny and Joe's and we took 5 seniors down there. We limited the number of people because we wanted to be, considerate of COVID and not put too many people on the van. Our next one is in October, and it's an East Side restaurant in New Britain for like an Oktoberfest. So that should be exciting. We started church service again. We did 2 weeks, but unfortunately, the new driver we just hired got a full-time job, and he is going to be working on Sundays. So we are not going to be able to do the program until we find another driver. If anyone knows of someone who would like to work on Sundays only, please pass it along. They need an F endorsement. And that's, we're back at square one with that. We thought we were okay with a new employee. It's been very busy, but all good things. Parks and Rec staff have been phenomenal. Rita and Pam putting things into the computer. Charlene has been answering the phones and handling customers. It's been a great environment. Today we had drivers stuffing envelopes for the newsletter to go out. So everyone's working well together. I actually was able to give a few meetings. I had appointments with some of our senior program leaders, setback, bridge, mahjong. I wanted to see what they needed from us and where their room would be. And I have to say, any person that I brought into this facility for a meeting has nothing but great things to say about it. Everyone seems to be thrilled. So I'm very happy about that. I've heard only positive from everyone. Anyone have any questions for me?
Ed,
So I was wondering on the workout facility, the gym. So will your membership card allow you to get in there? I mean, can you get there at 6 and work out, or?
What it looks like right now is we're going to have an 8:30 to 4:30 or an 8 to 4 coverage as far as the senior center goes. I feel it's important to have somebody in the room with the person. We're not budgeted to have a person in there the whole time. So once we get a paid person to train the volunteers, we'll staff it with volunteers, but it'll only be open while we're physically here, at least at this point. That's my thought anyways. And I'm not sure in the evening, once 4:30, when we lock the doors, Craig has use of that room if he chooses to use it for younger people or for classes. You want to volunteer at 6 a.m. in the morning? Maybe we can open early.
I'm considering it, yes. Do you have yeah, you have so many things, but one thing jumped to my mind, and that's my last question. You know how they have the Wii bowling and Wii tennis, you know, where it's virtual, but it's pretty,
Yep.
It's pretty interactive.
We have a woman, Marilyn, who runs our Wii bowling program. I've already met with her, and they're ready to come back. So as soon as we open, they'll be back. I think she actually gave me a date of the first Wednesday in November. She wanted to get people back in the building, and then they'll be here on Wednesdays. And I think we'll have 2 sets going at once. Yeah. I met with the knitters. We have a book discussion group. I met with the Stephanie seniors, bridge, setback, mahjong. So, and there's a few people that call bingo. I'm only scheduling 2 days of bingo instead of 3. So I know I'm going to get maybe few complaints about that, but I want to leave space for other programs besides bingo.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
thank you, Gina. We'll move forward with Human Services. Melissa, do you have an update for us?
Hi, I sure do. We are heading into here at Human Services, our very busy season. So I'll start just with senior specific things that we're doing from our department for senior services. We are coming up on a special enrollment period starting for Medicare. So we are all diligently still working on our training. We have one that has completed her training and then 2 of us who are about to take the test. So we're learning all the time and have access talking to other towns as well to get as well versed in that program as we can. So certainly give us a call if you need some guidance with that. We also are still running the renters rebate program. Applications are going to have to be into the system no later than October 2nd, and all checks are sent out. So if you give us a call here, if you're a first time applicant for renters rebate, give us a call. We'll be happy to explain. But in essence, the program always runs for the previous calendar year. So it's January through December of 2000, and we are looking 2020. I'm sorry, not 20 years ago, 2020, and it's going to be your proof of income. You're going to show proof of payments to your utilities and rent receipts and or a copy of your lease. And then there's an algorithm and it's calculated and the checks are sent out. We help facilitate the applications, but it's not us that makes the determination. So if anybody is interested in that program, please give us a call here at the office at 258-2799 as quickly as possible, because it does take some time to get that paperwork into us. On another note, we had 2 major, really successful fundraisers. So I want to give a shout out to our phenomenal community and some wonderful people. Connecticut Street Legends last weekend did their annual car show once again for us. It has gone on for many years here on the West End. It was a huge turnout, the biggest I have seen in the last 8 years that I've attended. They were able to raise and donate $2,200 for us here in Human Services, which they dropped off a check for, so that we will be able to put to good use. And this past Thursday, the first, what I think anticipation is, will be an annual, but the Mayor's Golf Tournament. So another huge shout out to the Chamber of Commerce, to sponsors, many sponsors, big and small, town officials golfed and showed up and came and spent the day. The mayor was there all day. Special shout out to Mike O'Toole, Mike Romano, to Dawn from the Chamber, to Jerry. A lot of people here in town spent hours and hours and hours in meetings and soliciting donations. And there is discussion now about how to split that up and use that best to make sure that it reaches all age, but specifically for seniors in need will be a huge category and will be addressed. So we have some resources, and we're all really excited about that. We do not have a specific number, and I'm not going to put it out until the final calculations, because this just took place, this event, on Thursday. And the Chamber of Commerce is handling the financial component for us. So they're collecting all of the money, paying the bills, and then going to give us a final tally. But I can tell you, it is over $12,000 at this point, and it is anticipated to be upwards of $15,000 if all is said and done. So we're really excited, and cannot be more grateful to a really fabulous community that, you know, within a week and a half time, almost $20,000 is huge. And I want to just really emphasize that this year specifically, coming off, you know, I don't want to be negative, because we have a lot of great programs going on at our new senior center and a lot of really happy things going on. But the flip side of that, post-COVID and trying to get over this, on the other side, there are a lot of very difficult things that are ramping up still, with funding being cut off and ending, and evictions, and a lot of things. So going into a winter with heating and with a lot of needs. So we're very grateful and excited for this, because it is going to help smooth out some of the bumps in the road for a lot of people who are going to be facing very challenging winter. So I want to just make sure that that's acknowledged. And we will be putting out formal thank yous, obviously, but it's important on here that I just give a shout out. Other departments helped out. Parks and Rec delivered some equipment for us. The town manager and the director of our economic development were up there for lunch. We had Carrie Woods up there. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that for a small community, that was a huge event and really important and appreciated. So thank you.
Questions for Melissa?
Yeah, I just had one question. Do you folks participate in Operation Fuel, or should people, because I think the moratorium is usually October 15th, so people should contact you if they need
Absolutely.
fuel assistance?
Yep.
Or
We have continuously done applications, but yeah, we have continuously processed those. But yes, Operation Fuel, we used to process the actual applications. We now help facilitate for those because it's all done online. But Operation Fuel is a program that we offer here. We also do, I just mentioned the renter's rebate. There's a couple other heating ones, and there's a few new programs that funding COVID, which I'm not going to go into on here because not everybody applies for them, but certainly any questions, any need with any sort of help, everything from insurance to medical equipment to help with seniors staying in the home comfortably. We are, and I just do want to take a moment to shout out that I will have more information, but we are really trying to ramp up. I know Gina mentioned and looking for volunteers in the senior center. So in our department, we're still maintaining volunteers more in the community base, right? So I know that senior services are looking for the actual volunteers that they need to help share their skill set, right? And teach classes and be a part of the day-to-day activities. We here in Human Services are really in need of volunteers in the community. And when I say volunteers, it does not necessarily have to be driving or hauling groceries. So we're looking for volunteers to pick up a phone and check in with a senior, especially as the winter approaches. It might very well be, you know, reading or just watching a program. And certainly with COVID, we're very cognizant of that. We want everybody to be safe. But we also don't want to forget that a lot of our seniors here in the community have been very isolated and very alone. So even if it is somebody willing to pick a senior up and bring them to one of the programs at the seniors center, that would be terrific to help get them involved and down in the community. Maybe it's just visiting with them at their home, calling and checking in, like I said, opening mail, helping pay bills, helping them navigate a computer system or a Zoom thing in their home so they can visit with family. We have a million different things, but we are, and I will bring more information to the next meeting, but I do want to just shout out, and because we did go through our list of very generous people who were interested during COVID. A lot of them, I think, were home and isolated themselves working from home, and a lot of them are no longer available. So while we're trying, while the getting's good, right, Gina, if we're going to ask for volunteers, please keep in mind that we're all kind of looking for some volunteers, and very differently. And certainly Gina and I will talk and share resources, and if we have somebody in our list that is interested in the other, we will absolutely communicate about that. But please keep in mind that our community could use some ongoing help broaching the winter for that program. And if you're interested at all, please give us a call over here. And if you've already put in an application, maybe you can mention it to Gina that you're willing to do both. We'll figure it out, but thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Melissa, very positive news that the community came together. I participated with Councilor Sharma in the golf tournament, and it was a nice,
Yes.
friendly, social turnout.
Sorry, I meant to mention Ed as well, and that nobody won the hole in one, but it almost, and that was a huge. So again, I apologize, Ed, but it was so many people. Go ahead, Alan. I'm sorry.
No, I think I was furthest from the hole, so it's fine. I wasn't anywhere close, so. But I still had a great time. So great to see that we have some new resources flowing in, and the community came together to contribute at what in many cases a difficult time for many different people within the community. Very positive. No other questions. We'll move on to if there's anything for new business.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing. And then I'll make the same assumption, nothing for other.
Just a reminder, the health district is starting their flu vaccines in October.
Oh.
And the ones in Rocky Hill at Elm Ridge Park are Tuesday, October 5th from 2 to 6, and Thursday, October 14th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You need to schedule an appointment, so you could probably go on their website, www.cchd.org/vaccine-portal, or you can call them at 860-785-8380, extension 216. But that's starting up next week, just a reminder.
Okay, thank you, John. Ed, look like you want to say something? No?
Yeah, I was, so under other, I was just going to ask the question out of my naivete. Housing Authority, does that fall into here at all, into this committee, or?
No, so actually we don't govern the Housing Authority. The town has a very good relationship with Sue, the director over at the Housing Authority. And so we are willing to help out. I know the town manager has worked with them over there. Ken Goldberg for many years has been the head of the board of directors over there. So there's a long-standing relationship. We service most everybody over there, obviously, for many of these programs. And but we don't actually govern over there. So it's always been a working relationship, so to speak. So I'm not sure, Ed, if you had a specific question on who would make a decision on something. We don't necessarily fund them or help, but we do help out.
They're looking for some help in grant writing. They have something that they feel they could qualify for, and a board member reached out to me on Friday. So I will follow up, I think, with John and the mayor. Or, anyway, so there's a grant at the state level that they're looking for some assistance on. And then there was an issue of, so their property tax is not called property tax, is called a pilot payment. And they would like to discuss that a little bit. And I don't know how we bring that to the town manager's attention. Their pilot payment, which is, I guess, somewhere in the neighborhood, what, it's so many cents per revenue rents. But anyway, those are two things that maybe is best researched elsewhere.
Yeah, the pilot might be state, so that might be something they might want to reach out to Carrie or Matt as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, I would reach out to them as well.
Any other items? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second that motion.
All of us in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Night.
See you Saturday.